These cupping glasses are made of plastic and come from China, but the method is Egyptian and ancient. Sheikh Abdullah learned it from his father, and he in turn from his father. It is knowledge that has been passed down for many generations. Sheikh Abdullah explains that cupping was already known during the days of the pharaohs. The theory is that fluids that make people sick have to be removed from the body to allow the patient to heal. That's where the razor blade comes in. The German doctor is interested in what's going on and is a little surprised by the surroundings. Meanwhile, the patient is reciting surahs from the Quran, and not because of the pain. According to tradition, Allah has to be invoked to help in this healing process.
We're going to leave it like this for 3 to 5 minutes. If the area is without pain, there won't be any blood. First, we suction the area. Then we cut the skin gently. And then we cup it again. If we find an infected area or a painful area, blood will come out.
Foreigners only rarely stumble across Cairo's spice bazaar, but they are welcome all the same.
Juice. Karkade juice. Yes, this babuni, babuni. This for hair, for stomach, للشعر وللمعدة. ورق الحبهان. ورق الحبهان ده للشوربة for soup.
Spices are also often medicinal here. The Western distinction between medicine and food isn't recognized. Lydia Reuter has come to Cairo from Germany to gather ancient knowledge about Arab medicinal herbs. That's why she's visiting the bazaar. The stallholder families have been doing business here for many generations. Their knowledge is in the blood. Even though the modern Western lifestyle is catching on more and more here too, many traditions still survive. Knowledge of the healing powers of certain spices is still one part of the spice dealer's job that is taken for granted.
The air here is full of sand and dust and spices and pepper. Even the locals cough. I don't think hygiene here.
This is Lydia Reuter's first time in Cairo. She's a trained doctor and has specialized in Chinese medicine. Now she's learning about Arab medicine. Her search often takes her to the hidden corners of the Arab world. In the back courtyards, it feels like a journey into the past. For the Western doctor, it's a trip into almost unimaginable conditions. Poverty and dirt wherever she looks. Arab medicine is a medicine of the poor. It is the poor who go to traditional healers or hakims. They are the guardians of the ancient knowledge. I would like to know what he uses for his traditional medicine, she asked through her interpreter. Hakim Omar Degwi has his practice in a side street. He's proud that a doctor from Germany is interested in his healing methods.
The basis of my work is the classical writings of the Arab healers from the past to the present. In addition, there is the knowledge we inherited from ancient Egypt.
Hakim Omar Degwi is self-confident. His healing powers have cured many, he says.
My knowledge is now such that I know there must be a cure for every disease.
Then the Hakim shows us traditional compresses. They help relieve many ailments depending on how they're used, he says. In his opinion, it is a problem of modern times that people no longer trust these simple but effective treatments anymore. That strikes a nerve with his German guest. Lydia Reuter wants this trust to change 10 minutes for 2 hours to make them particularly effective. He laments that many people don't know that anymore. Soon they won't even know how good black cumin is for them. Around 3,000 kilometres further north, black cumin is now being used. Lydia Reuter uses oil from Egypt for massages. It is highly anti-inflammatory, helps with many skin problems and stimulates the circulation. Cupping is also part of her traditional treatment methods in her surgery in Tübingen, southern Germany.
Cupping can be found in all ancient cultures, in Chinese medicine, in Ayurvedic medicine, in Arab medicine, in European medicine. It can be found all over the world. People realized that the stimulation of certain areas produced certain effects. Arab medicine makes a definite association with spirituality. Particular diets are required. Prayers are also spoken during the cupping treatment. That's a very important component.
Northern Cyprus, a few weeks earlier. Here too, Lydia Reuter went in search of traditional practices.
You need to have a bit of respect and not just show up there with your hair down.
Lefke in Turkish Cyprus is home to the headquarters of the Naqshbandi order. It was here in the tranquility and remoteness of the Sufi community Arab medicine. The order is a large Sufi community. They are the mystics of Islam. The order has several 100,000 members around the world. Sheikh Nazim is their spiritual teacher. They worship him, the order's 40th Grand Sheikh, like a saint. Sheikh Nazim has written books about his faith, but also about herbal medicine. He is their spiritual leader and is considered a great healer. It is rare now that the old man has the strength to teach anymore. When he does it in English because many of his followers are based in Europe and his addresses are broadcast around the world online.
Imitated. And I am trying really not to be said that this is a sheikh. People saying to me, you are a sheikh. I'm saying, for you I am sheikh. But the real sheikh, not here, up.
Das ist sehr weise. Funktioniert auch.
It's very wise and it works. It's the highest form of healing. There are also the small ways of healing by treating smaller ailments with smaller methods. But this is the highest form of healing, the most direct form, and also the most complete form.
Lydia Reuter follows the small forms of healing. She's in search of people who still possess the ancient knowledge. Selma, a Turk who lived in Germany, knows all about frankincense.
This is an ancient medicine. Christ was given frankincense as a gift by the 3 wise men. The wonderful scent, when you burn it, is said to be good against depression. Depressed people should have incense burning in their houses several times a day. It also acts on the nervous system. It blocks, relieves, calms. The second healing power it has is for rheumatoid complaints. You can crush it with a pestle and mortar, and then you take a bit of it with some water 2 to 3 times a day.
Arab medicine is basically a to Cyprus and Iran, where Mariam, another friend of Lydia Reuter, comes from.
Everybody loves attention.
When Lydia Reuter, the trained doctor from Germany, is on the island, they do house calls together. There aren't many doctors in the Turkish part of Cyprus, and for most people they are too expensive. Lydia Reuter treats them for free.
Interesting. When do you eat it?
Today she will examine an old man who had a tumour on his bladder a short while ago.
Okay. Put it down. Thank you. Thank you.
Lydia Reuter is very familiar with this method. She feels what kind of pulse the patient has and uses this to determine the patient's condition. The old man is doing relatively well. He feels a bit weak after the operation, his children explain. Luckily, the tumour was benign. Now they are hoping the doctor will help him get back to his full health again.
Okay. Can I have a look at your eyes? Remove that.
Lydia Reuter's diagnostic method is Chinese. The recipe is naturopathic and tailored to plants that also grow on Cyprus.
So it would be very good if you would eat the seeds of cucumber every day. And also to drink infusions from nettle tea. Strong nettle tea. Auf der Insel.
The island only really has Western medicine. They've completely forgotten their own medicine. This medicine will die together with the old people here. There are not many people left who know something about herbs. Mariam from Iran, for example, has written a book and tried to get people in touch with it again.
For that reason, she goes into the family's garden to see if anything growing here has medicinal properties. Here in Cyprus, many people eat healthy foods without even knowing it. Both women have seen this. A lot is thrown away which could be used. The simple nettle, for example. It is important in all naturopathic systems, including the Arab one. Nettles have a detoxifying effect on the body. They cleanse the blood and are also said to help treat gout and rheumatism. The women are explaining to the family that nettles are not a weed. It is important to them to preserve this treasure for future generations because they know about the healing power of the ancient methods. It's a method linked to religion here in northern Cyprus and to the mysticism of the Sufis. It is Thursday, the high point of the week in the order. After the evening prayer, the men meet to perform a religious dance, the sikr, the immersion in the divine. The women watch. Singing and breathing become more and more intense. The Sufis call this remembering the original condition of the soul when it was still with God. Lydia Reuter was captivated by the mystical tradition of the Sufi order. She became a member a few years ago now. She cancelled her contract with Germany's medical insurance system a few years back. There were too many problems. The insurance companies didn't want to pay for her treatment methods. Since then, she has only had private patients. The doctor uses conventional medications alongside traditional remedies. Today, she is...
Frankincense is a resin for ingesting. This resin is obtained directly from the tree.
Lydia Reuter doesn't put her trust in medicines alone. She also believes in healing through the spirit. That's the only way holistic healing is possible, she says.
Doctors weren't just doctors of the body, they were also doctors of the spirit. This distinction, under which doctors only looked at the body, was only agreed on in Europe at the Council of Clermont in 1130. All the old traditional doctors are priest doctors for that reason.
And so it only makes sense that the German doctor also visits Sheikha Magda in a mosque in Cairo to learn about her method of healing. Sheikha Magda uses nothing but the power of the spirit and prayer. Anyone who comes to see Sheikha Magda has to pray with her first. Only then will she give her diagnosis. Sheikha Magda is very successful at curing psychological problems. Her reputation as a healer reaches far beyond her quarter. After a short prayer, Sheikha Magda praises the piety of the woman who has come for help, but sends her away again because her problem is not a sick mind, it's elsewhere. She should go and see a doctor. In sending her away, Sheikha Magda passed a small test without knowing it. Lydia Reuter has seen the patient's file and knew that the patient was psychologically healthy.
What she didn't know is that the patient had been pre-diagnosed with a serious and incurable neurodegenerative illness. She was sent to doctors who were able to treat the worst symptoms with chemical medication, and that was done well.
Lydia Reuter has set off in search of answers, and the answers are diverse, particularly in Cairo. This morning, she has an appointment at the medical faculty of Cairo University. She's come here for a lesson in medical history. Professor Hassan Batatoni has been occupying himself with the ancient texts, and he speaks a bit of German.
That's good. That's good. It's right in there. That's good. That's in here.
Medicine is still justified today, says Professor Batatoni. A simple proof of this is that the old medical books are still in print. This knowledge was collected by Arab scholars and then published in book form. That was more than 600 years ago.
This will help also in the perfection of peace among the different nations and discussion between different civilizations. And also, if we lose the plants in the field by over-collection, we shall lose the knowledge. And so they are interrelated. The Islamic nation was widespread from China to Andalusia. And during that period, we have a lot of scholars. These scholars may be Christians, they may be Jews, they may be Muslims, and also they may be Persians, they may be Turkish, they may be Andalusians or Moroccans. So neither the nationality or the religion was effective in this, but it was for the sake of humanity, and we have a lot of productivity of different books and treatises. Contains a lot of volumes, and in this second part of the book, it contains the plants and their effect, and every plant is...
Today, the Arab world is fighting to have its scientific research recognised. At the pharmacological faculty, the scientists are researching the effect of medicinal plants, including their effects on animals. These are Egyptian doctors trained in Germany. It is a drawn-out and expensive process to have a natural remedy scientifically recognised. Because in nature the active ingredients are never pure. That's why it's difficult to say which ingredient has the healing property. Finding that out is the aim of the laboratory tests. They are currently researching doum, the fruit of a palm tree endemic to Egypt. Healing powers have been attributed to it since ancient times.
We've already done several preliminary tests in which we discovered that the extract from this fruit has a blood pressure lowering effect. The question now is, how does it work? Is it toxic? Is it not toxic? These are all things we're currently planning on looking into.
A 3-hour drive from the university is what will in future be the heart of an Arab natural remedy production centre, the very modern warehouse of the Sekem company. This company grow their medicinal plants using biodynamic methods and process them. The company founder, Ibrahim Abouleish, is Egyptian. He studied in Austria.
This is peppermint. This says when it came here. This gives the analysis and the report, and so on. This is the raw materials warehouse. We take things from here to process them. We clean them and chop them.
These are glimpses of hope for Lydia Reuter, a company that is combining the tradition and knowledge of the Arab world with the standards of the Western world. This is the only way Arab medicine will be able to survive, says Lydia Reuter, because only high-quality remedies are effective.
Sehr aromatisch, sehr angenehm.
This is the flower.
They are doing two things here, we're told by the director of the breeding department. On the one hand, they breed high-quality seeds for their farmers, and on the other, their work is also keeping alive the tradition of growing these plants, because fewer and fewer herbal remedies are being prescribed in Egypt.
Like tomato, but very small like that. Who gives the prescription? The doctors, the physician in Egypt? They don't use it.
Hakims.
The Hakims. And that takes us back to the Hakims, because they are the guards of the herbal medicine, actually. And most of their prescriptions are based on the Arabic medication. Some of them have his own writings and his own book to use. And some of them using the old one, Ibn Sina and Ibn Bitar prescriptions.
Yes.
And it's limited in a few families, and they keep it a secret. Still, they think it's secrets, and that could be a reason why the Arabic medicine have not been spread along the world.
Leider gibt es.
Unfortunately, there isn't a school for Hakims to teach them how to use these plants. As he said, this is done by families, and that means this medicine is threatened by extinction because it isn't being taught.
Dass diese Medizin auch vom Aussterben bedroht ist, weil die das nicht verbreiten.
That makes it all the more important to preserve the knowledge that is still there. Even though herbal medicine schools around the world often know and use the same plants, certain medicinal plants only grow in the Arab world. This is about not letting an ancient tradition die, according to Lydia Reuter. There is a reason why Arab medicine is considered the cradle of modern medicine. A lot is still in use today. She will continue to collect the ancient knowledge and apply it in her practice in Germany. Lydia Reuter will continue to work on her dream, a school for traditional medicine somewhere in the Arab world. Hakims could be instructed in ancient knowledge and modern research. That would give Arab medicine a chance of survival in the modern world once more.